What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel for those that are subscribed, and welcome to those that may have just come across my video for the first time, tuning in for the first time. My name is Victoria Hammonds. I go by Tori, and I actually prefer that, so feel free to address me as such. And before I go on, how's your Friday? How has your day been? Going good? I pray that it's going good. I actually pray, y'all, that the end of this year has gone with ease, no matter what happened prior to. I pray that the end of this year has gone with ease. I pray that there has been some type of relief in your life from whatever has, maybe shaken up your world, or whatever has taken place prior that you weren't necessarily expecting or ready for. And of course, I'm referring to things that may have necessarily not been good that took place. And this leads me to, it makes me think of the saying, which is also in the Bible. So the word of God that says, better is the end of a thing. And I'm sure by now you have probably heard that scripture, but better is the end of a thing than the beginning of a thing. And let me tell you why. And some of you probably already got it, but this is my belief as it pertains to right now as to why better is the end of a thing than the beginning of a thing. Because a lot of us, because I'm including myself, I'm including myself. A lot of us had no, I was going to say earthly, no good idea, no earthly idea, the things that were going to be before us in 2022, the obstacles that was going to be before us, the tragedies that happened, the devastation that may have happened, the hurt that may have happened, the disappointments that may have happened, the loss that may have happened in 2022. None of us, for the most part, were in expectation of any of those things. Yet, we're still here. Days before 2023. We made it. We are conquerors. We're conquerors. Yeah, we're conquerors. I was going to say survivors, but all of that. We still here. We are still in the land of the living despite the things in the beginning, in the middle, and towards the end. In spite of those things, we are still here, and we have made it to this point, y'all. So that is what I think of, or what I'm thinking of right now in this very moment when I say God's word, which says better is the end of a thing than the beginning of the thing. We are here, and we made it, y'all, and we are going to make it in 2023. And so what I've been doing is sharing some of the most critical, vital, life-changing information, whether it came by teaching, whether it came by me reading, whether it came by me listening to something or revelation, but I am sharing some of the top things that have definitely helped and contributed to my life in 2022. And I felt like if these were life-changing moments for me, that I should definitely share it with you all. And so I pray that the videos, the mini videos that are already out there that I started to release on yesterday, I pray that they have been a blessing to you. I pray that they have been encouraging you. I pray that they have been uplifting you. And I pray that you have shared them with people that came to mind when you heard what it was that I was sharing with you all, because it definitely helped me. All right. And so that leads me into tonight. It leads me into my message for this video. And that is, don't let loyalty be your reason for being disobedient to God. And I'll repeat it again. Let me say it again. Don't let loyalty over here. Don't let loyalty be your reason for being disobedient to God. So when I thought about this, I thought about the example that I was going to give you all, real life example that I was going to give to you all, and then a teaching that made me come up with this phrase. So the phrase itself I thought of, but I'm going to tell you where it came from, how it came about. And so the example is, I was talking to a friend on the phone a couple of months ago, and it was something that they really wanted to do. It was someone that they wanted to support, who had been very influential in their life, and I mean really helped change like their whole path, if you want to put it that way, so to speak. And they wanted to be there to support this person, but they felt like at the same time that it wasn't the best time for them in their life because of the obligations and the things that they have going on in their life. They didn't feel like it was the best time. Like, it was just a conflict in time and, the things that they already have going on in their life, right? And they, genuinely wanted to be there, and I could tell that, and they were, sincere about it. But they're like, Tori, I got this going on. Like, this is just like, I don't think it's the best time. And so I listened to them. And what came to mind is something around what I said about loyalty and being disobedient to God. But my question to them was, okay, well, what did God say? Because I believe over here, around here, like, I believe, like, I'm a believer in asking and including God. Now I am. I ain't always been that way. But now it's just like, okay, Lord, do I supposed to be going to this? Like, do I supposed to be doing it? Like, I love this person to life. I love them very much with all of my heart. But am I supposed to be doing this? And I feel like you can't go wrong with that. I feel that way. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like you can't go wrong, doing that. And so if you come to learn about God, a few things about God, actually, that he is a God of order. Okay? He is about loyalty. Absolutely, you're right. But he is definitely a God of order, of divine order. And there's a reason why things go the way they go according to the word and to God, okay? So try to feel me. Try to feel me. If you don't, you don't. But try to feel me when I say that. And keep that in mind. And so I asked them, I'm just like, did you, what did God say? Are you supposed to be there? And they're just like, oh, like, I didn't even really think about that. So I'm just like, okay, you may want to consider that, just give my little 1-2 cent. You may want to consider and ask God, like, is this something that I'm supposed to attend or be at, to support in person? Because let me tell you this, because I know a thing or two or 3, 10,000, a million about God and his provision. And if it is something that you're supposed to do, a place you're supposed to go, something that's for you, he's going to be the one to make provision. He's going to make sure of it. It's his business to make sure that you are there, that you get it, or whatever it is that you're supposed to have. You're going to get it, okay? That's not the issue. The question comes down to, are you supposed to be there? Because you can very well be places that you're not supposed to go, and it just seemed like the nice thing and the good thing to do and the loyal thing to do, but you're not supposed to be there. This is when you're living your life for God. I'll put it that way. And so, they say, oh, I didn't really think about that. So, they said they were going to think about that. And I did add this in for the people that are still stuck on loyal and like, oh my gosh, this is somebody that helped change your life. And you got to think about, you going the wrong way with this. You're going the wrong way. Come on back. And so what I did say is, I said, but whatever you decide to do, or if you decide to do the opposite of what you really want to do, which this person like really, truly, genuinely wants to be there. And I said, if you decide to do the opposite, or God tells you to do the opposite, I'll put it that way. If you find that he has told you to do the opposite, you make sure you be integral. And you let that person know, like, hey, I really, really, really wanted to. And then you go from there. However God tell you to explain, if he tell you to explain why you can't be there. But you be integral about it. Like, you don't let the person just be like, Dad, I thought they said it was coming. Then they looking for you. You won't never there. And you never say anything about it again. Like you had never said you was, gonna show up and support them. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. Okay? And so, and that's definitely something that I had to work on. I don't, it ain't the best thing that I'd like to put out there about myself. And I'm not saying that I leave people hanging and all that stuff, but what I'm saying is just, making sure you're integral. And sometimes it's not even intentional that you're not, but you just want to be very conscious that you are. So I did tell them that, like, you make sure this person been good to you, okay? And you understand that where you are today, had it not been for them, or God using them to move in your life, baby, baby, you might have been out here still as one of them lost sheeps. So you be integral about it. Keep your integrity, guys. And if you feel like you've lost it, you can pray and ask God to bring that integrity back to your name. That's another thing. But we'll leave that for another lesson. And so I told him that. Now, what made me get to this point? Let's get to that, okay? Because I told y'all some of these was from teachings and things that I heard. And so perhaps you have heard of Pastor Kevin L.A. Ewing himself, the extraordinaire, the phenomenal teacher that he is, pastor that he is. He has it on YouTube. He's on Facebook too, but you can find him. I promise you that. You type his name in Google and you're going to find him. But I was listening to one thing he said in particular, and if he happens to see this, hello. And also, like, I pray, if he does see this, that I'm not tearing up this example that I'm about to give. But I will say this. I am paraphrasing because I do not remember the exact words to quote. This is what he said, but it was around about the gist. He said one day in one of the teachings I was listening to, he said, do you believe, you that's listening, do you believe that God placed you in this earth? Do you believe that God sent you to this earth? Do you believe that you were birthed by your mother to come into this world? And of course he was, using the church and stuff as an example. But do you believe that God sent you here with all of them great gifts that he gave you, all of the talent that he gave you, all of the things that he already put inside you before you even got here? Do you believe he sent you here to go to a church and be bound by loyalty, or you say you're being loyal, and to sit in the pew for about 70 or 80 years and never, here's the end, and never take what you have learned to go out into the world and teach other people? And that made me pause. I said, whoa. And I know y'all probably thinking about it too, like, oh, okay, all right. And he was saying, like, don't, and he didn't, as far as I don't remember him saying, like, you're not being, you're about the loyalty thing, but this is what made me think about what he said. How many people have already done that and they're gone? They're not here anymore. Like, they came, they found a church that was good for them at that time. They stayed there out of loyalty and never did anything with what they were being taught. They just were going. Like, it started to become routine. You're not growing anymore. You don't feel anything anymore. Like, it's almost like you have become robotic, like a robot. It's Sunday, you get up, go to Sunday school, go to church, hit a word, go home and cook, whatever you do, go on about your week for, all of that time to leave this earth, and you never at any point thought that you were supposed to go out into the world, and now taking some of these teachings, some of the revelation you got on your own, that you were supposed to go out and that you were supposed to now be that person. And hear me well, that I'm not saying that, oh, all of a sudden, like, you're supposed to be a pastor now and have a church and stuff like that. But at no point did you feel you're supposed to go out and start what your ministry was. And your ministry doesn't necessarily have to be preaching, is what I'm getting at. Your ministry could have been the businesses that God had for you. Your ministry could be being an artist, being a dancer, being, y'all get what I'm saying, okay? I ain't gonna run down all these things. But at no point, because loyalty had you bound, or you thought it was loyalty, like you being loyal by being there 80, 90, 100 years, and then you leave this earth and you've never gone out to teach others what you taught. That's what they did in the word. Like, do you realize there were successors? That's what they called it. Moses was training Joshua while he was doing what he was supposed to be doing. Why? Because Moses wasn't going to always be here, clearly, and we know that if we, if you've done some reading. All right, God said Moses is dead. He gone. He up here with me. He back there. He up here with me. Now it's on you. What are you going to do? All right, so I don't want to deviate too much, okay? But y'all get what I'm saying? Like, you let loyalty make you sit there and stay, even though you weren't growing anymore. You weren't learning anything anymore. It had become a routine to you. You didn't feel anything. But because of loyalty, you stay. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about what y'all probably thinking when it comes to being loyal. This is what I'm referring to when I say don't let loyalty be your reason for being disobedient to God. What did he tell you to do? Okay? He might have told them to do something else. But what are you supposed to be doing? Are you here to follow your entire life? Are you here to just learn your entire life? Now, come on now. Now, come on. That doesn't make sense. At some point, from these people that you are learning from, that's teaching you, that help change your whole life, at some point, I believe one of the greatest things you could do for them is go out and they can see the fruit of their labor. You are now the fruit of their labor when you go out and you start, teaching the things that you've learned. You start telling people like, oh my gosh, like, this like I'm trying to do now. These are the things that I learned. Like I said, some of them are mine that came to me from reading. Some are mine from revelation that I got. And then some are teachings that I got from other people that have definitely helped me in 2022 and probably some years back. But I decided if these are things that help change my life, then definitely, I feel like I have an obligation to share these things with you all. So this is where I'm at the end of the year. I'm sharing these things with y'all. Great things, phenomenal things, words of wisdom. When you talk about wisdom, when you talk about knowledge, when you talk about life-changing things, when you talk about things that help change the trajectory of your life, these are the things that I'm sharing with you all. And I pray that it does that very thing for you. When you hear it, share it with somebody that needs to hear it. Don't let loyalty, be loyal. I'm not saying don't be loyal, but don't let loyalty stop you from being obedient to God. What did God tell you to do? Did he tell you to go there? Did he tell you to say that? Did he tell you to start that business? Did he tell you to leave? Did he tell you to X, Y, and Z? And the reason I'm stressing, did he? Because if he told you to, you better believe he making a way. You better believe that there's going to be provision for you in whatever he told you to do. And I don't have nothing to say to that. You good, you covered if you're doing what he told you to do. But if you're not, you leave yourself open, baby, for some things that you might not, like a little bit later. So I want you to think about it. Don't think too hard. Just think in the lines that I gave it to y'all. I'm not saying don't be loyal. Be loyal. Be very loyal. You need to be loyal. That's part of your character. But be integral too. But most importantly, obey God. Be obedient to what he told you to do. And you can't ever go wrong. So that is my message that I wanted to share with y'all. This is way more than 5 minutes tonight, but so be it. As always, be blessed, be encouraged. And I got some more videos coming for y'all. Bye.